Hey, it's 10:23. We're going to get the big man some headphones over here as well. Let him hear all the magic that's happening here. We tell our crew out there, not that he's not going to, he can hear me fine.
100%. Is my mic live?
Yeah, your mic is live, and you got them good pipes. And obviously thrilled to have a leader segment here with Jonathan J. Hunt, who is the interim GM, CEO of MARTA. You've had all kinds of impressive, you're like a lawyer by trade and all that, right?
Yeah, I'm a PK. I'm a lawyer by trade, so the sound of my own voice soothes me.
Yeah, no, you got great pipes, brother. You sound great.
But yeah, lawyer by training. Before that, I grew up framing houses, working in kitchens.
Where'd you grow up?
Boy, Massachusetts most of my life.
Oh, I didn't know that. I can hear it now.
Yeah. Occasionally, Barica.
Bill Ricca.
Yeah,
Tom
Glavin's
hometown.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely. I went to school with his younger brother.
Oh, okay.
Mikey, yeah.
You remind me of Jermaine Wiggins, who went to Georgia, who's from East Boston. And it's not always you see these big black guys with these big Boston accents,
100%.
Right?
We're there.
And I can hear it, right?
We're there.
No doubt. So it's great to have you here. It's a big job that you have. How do you end up with a job as the CEO of MARTA? Because you grew up on the T, I assume, right?
I did grow up on the T.
You and I grew up taking the T
Alewife
everywhere.
Station was my station,
Okay,
100%.
I was Brookline Village or Newton Center or whatever it is on the Green Line. What line were you on?
Red Line.
Red Line, okay.
Red
So
line.
So you're super familiar because we grew up where public transportation was everything.
And it.
Yeah, there wasn't even a thought. Me and my buddies, everything we did, going to Fenway Park or doing whatever, you're on the T and doing that whole deal. So when it's done right, relatively speaking, the impact it can have, right?
It's amazing. We are workforce development. We are housing. We are transportation. In transit, I like to think of transit as choice. And we're trying to give people as many choices as possible. We're not fighting against GDOT or the Waymos or the Ubers of the world. You need to have choice.
Yep.
And we support all of it.
So how do you end up in that seat, the seat that you're in?
So I was serving as the basically general counsel, give us simple name, of the authority. When the predecessor, my prior boss, decided to leave, the board took a look around, and I don't know, so I'm not in their head, but with all the projects that we have coming online and have come online over this next year, it had been very difficult for somebody outside the authority and outside of Atlanta to come in, step in, and be effective. And it was part of that was one part of the decision. The other part is the good Lord and blessed, and sometimes you just don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm in the chair now and leading the best ability that I can.
Well, you have a presence about you. I know you've done a lot of things in this city, but somebody that, listen, I look at MARTA as he's that first-round pick that hasn't totally flourished just yet, but has all the potential to just dominate. Because when you talk to folks in other cities, they're just like, you can get your train goes right from here, right into the airport.
We're the most connected transit agency.
You got an hour and 45 minutes to drive from there, but you can just hop on a MARTA, get on your phone, and be there in 37 minutes or whatever it is.
Depending on where you're coming from, 100%.
Downtown CNN, what was CNN, whatever that center is. The center, right? I mean, the access and the opportunity to make us a city that thinks more about public transportation is ripe, right?
100%.
Just need coaching. We need coaching to shoot 500 jumpers every day after practice and turn MARTA into a powerhouse.
I love the sports analogy. I played sports, love sports. We're going to take MARTA from good to great. Not good to perfect. Nothing in this world is perfect, but from good to great. So we're looking this year to go to be, at the end of the year, they do the awards, the most improved player.
Yeah. Nikhil Alexander-Walker, you want that award?
At 100%.
So let me ask you about World Cup, because there are huge stories in other cities about what they're charging people to get to games, right?
Yeah.
Your old neck of the woods in Foxborough.
Up in
Charging me
Foxborough.
$35 to go for
One way.
Yeah, one way.
One way.
That's ridiculous.
In Jersey. I lived in Jersey. New Jersey
What are they
Transit in New
doing there?
York. They're 90.
$90 to get on a train and get to MetLife-ish?
Ish, because you still got to get on a bus.
Oh, double trouble.
We got
get
5 rail stations in less than a third of a mile. of MBS. Garnett Station, Five Point Station, Vine City, SEC District Station, and Peachtree Center.
All within
less than a third of a mile
from where the World
MBS
Cup.
and the Fan Fest. And our airport station, as you noted earlier, is the most connected in the country. So you can get on. That's why Atlanta's a hub city. We expect fans to come here, get their Airbnb, stay, eat. But if they're following Brazil, they'll go get on our train, take 100%. It to the airport, to the most connected and busiest airport in the world, and fly wherever in the country in under 2 hours.
They don't even think, these international travelers, of anything but hopping on a train.
No, they don't.
Just tell me where it is. And it's like, oh, let me just look here. I'm in Airbnb, and I'm in Vine City, or I'm in wherever I am. I'm in downtown.
And they'll get on the bus.
Right. They'll get on the bus, or you're staying over there at the Signia Hotel. 100%. Right? 1,000 rooms. So so give us the format for World Cup, what's going to change, and how much more do we have to pay during that time?
100%. Let's talk with pay first.
Okay.
We're not changing our fares.
Wow.
It's $2.50
That's
one way.
Crazy. To get to a game.
To get to a game. Yeah. $5 round trip. What we're focused in on is operational reliability. So on game days and the major fan fests, because there's going to be fan fests all over the region, if I can quote Atlanta's mayor, World Cup is going to be something that happens with Atlanta and not to Atlanta.
Yep.
So there's going to be stuff all over the place, not just at MBS and the fan fest at Centennial Olympic Park. It's going to be all over the region, and we're servicing that. We're going to have transit ambassadors. Nearly 1,000 will be deployed. We have another additional 100 volunteers from FIFA that they've provided to us. 12 regional police forces are going to help our police force to increase safety and security, and we're boosting multilingual messaging and iconography in our wayfinding, which is a fancy way of saying pictures on signs on the ground to make it easier for people who don't speak our language to get around.
It's an enormous opportunity for Atlanta. Governor Kemp has been here. Andre's obviously a good friend and co-hosted. They all recognize what this can do for the region, getting corporations to think more and more about Atlanta.
Have you been to a World Cup match or gold medal or Premier League?
I've been to, we say gold medal. Yeah. When I was here for the Olympics.
Yeah.
So I got to, the Olympics was crazy because, and people think there's an analogy. There's no analogy between the world in terms of attendance. The reality was Atlanta disappeared during the Olympics, and you could get anywhere, and it's all corporate. You could drive up to a Georgia Tech swim event and get in. And there aren't fans in the same way. This is fans.
These are fans.
These are people that are going to live, eat, drink. The restaurants were empty during the Olympics. The bars were empty during the Olympics.
I remember.
All those vendors that thought they were going to do well. World Cup is going to be totally different in terms of the energy.
That's why on our rail system we're going to 5-minute headways from the starter service till 10:30 at night so that we can continue to serve our Atlantans on those match days and those major fan fest days.
Yep.
So that you don't have to abandon anywhere. Live your life, go to work. We can handle it.
Jonathan J. Hunt is here. He's the general manager, CEO of MARTA. So I want to get to what people say, concerns they have over the years with MARTA. You can address it. But let's stay positive for a second. The new trains, right? Oh. I've been looking at. So tell us about the new trains and why that's going to be a pleasure for folks.
Love to have you out to our reveal event.
Yeah.
It's
when is that?
June 4th, they go into revenue service.
Okay.
The new trains are open gangway. We have good trains that lasted us for 40 years, but let's make no mistake. Atlanta's got the oldest trains in the nation. And we're going from the oldest set of trains that were good to the most technologically advanced trains in the nation.
What does that mean for a passenger?
That means open gangway. So if you don't feel comfortable, that perception of safety, our trains are a football field long. You can get up and walk a football field away from whatever you don't like and not have to leave the train. You don't have to get off and wait for another train set. We're introducing a train patrol unit. We've heard from our patrons. So there's going to be an officer or a field protective specialist on every single new train as they come into revenue service.
So talk about safety, because that is, I hear, the number one complaint over the last 30 years of being here.
Yeah.
People sometimes don't feel safe on MARTA. Some of it is, their own paranoia. Some of it has been legitimate. Social media, obviously, anything happens on a train. Feels like people are obsessed with anything on an airplane or a train. We want to push that. I'll let
100%.
you know. Right, they're crazies. So talk about safety in MARTA.
First, on Lantons, the metro region, you have an incredibly safe system, one of the safest systems in the country. last year, all crime, not parsing, not major crimes, not robberies, all crimes, from nuisance up to the real negative stuff,
Yep.
serious stuff, down over 25%. Year over year to date, today, we're down over 27% over last year. We're talking robberies or about 3 robberies this year, period. We have an incredibly safe system, but numbers don't tell the full story because people do have a perception or may feel unsafe.
So you've heard that.
Oh, 100%.
Yep.
And more important than hearing it, we're addressing it because a lot of that comes from folks who may be non-destination riders, and that's unhoused or folks going through a mental crisis or a chemical dependency issue. So we partnered. Atlanta has a great program in Atlanta Hope. We have a MARTA Hope program, which is an outgrowth of that. We have caseworkers who work our system every day to do outreach and touch base and try to get services to these folks.
What I would tell folks is whatever, and I used to hear this about downtown, right? It's not safe downtown. You know, you go 2 blocks from Phillips Arena, and I was like, dude, have you ever been to a big city? Like, you know, I've never had, and I've been to more games than anybody, you know, listening right now. Never had an incident downtown. Is it? Do you have to be a little bit careful like anywhere else in a major city? Like, do you want to be a city of 7 million people, metro, or do you want to be Charlotte? Well, 100%. I want to be Atlanta. I don't want to be Charlotte.
No,
so that's
not at all.
part of what exists. Next time you're thinking about trying to navigate a Saturday night with 4 events downtown at Bruno Mars, a playoff game and all that, and you're sitting in traffic, think about you could have been in MARTA in 18 minutes, been there and not have a stress, and had a nice martini in your hand, right?
Absolutely, especially since we have an open container district in South Downtown, all the great work John Birdsong and Soto is doing. I went to Tad Thai and had some Thai food that blew my mind, and I got off our brand new bus rapid transit route that we just launched on April 18th to do it.
You can have an open container in that downtown
100%.
area. I like...
and let MARTA drive, and you won't get a ticket, so you can enjoy that open container.
Yeah, and by the way, do you know what are they called in Uber and Lyft when it's those spiked times?
Yes, the surge.
Dude,
pricing.
I see my Uber bills when I'm traveling.
Well, I got one better. Why don't you try MARTA's Uber-like service? We call it MARTA Reach. So there's 12 zones around the region. In those zones, you can hail a MARTA vehicle, which you can do through an app, via the website, or call.
You can grab a MARTA vehicle to get you from point A to point B.
Right. So in the zones, you'll pick you up from your house or wherever you are, and it's take you to the rail or to one of our new fast frequent bus routes. But if your destination is within that zone, it'll take you door to door.
That's awesome.
For $2.50.
That's awesome.
No surge pricing.
What's the where do you learn all this stuff? Because there's a lot of info.
www.itsmarta.com.
MARTA. My dad.
It's smarter to ride MARTA.
My dad, the biggest Boston accent ever. I say, Dad, I'm going to pick you up. You're 68 years old. I'm going to take the MARTA. You and my mother love taking the MARTA. My wife jokes about it all the time. Like, they don't know otherwise, and they'd be like, don't pick us up. We love it. It's in the airport. You just tell us, depending on where we were living, they'd come right there. You got to come back
I'd love to come
couple
back.
of months.
Jake.
We got to
love
kick
your
it
show.
around.
Love everything that you've done.
Yeah.
And keep the recommendations coming.
Well, yeah, I got some food
I got
stuff
Mother's Day recommendations.
Okay, well, yeah, listen, you better come to me soon if you want me to hook you up.
Yeah,
right?
I got about 7 mothers that I got to take care of. My wife, my mother-in-law, my mom, my grandmother. God bless. She's over 102.
Stop.
No, and so I'm blessed.
So she was doing the longevity thing before anybody knew about it.
Exactly.
Was she doing cold plunge? What'd she do?
No, she's doing bourbon and bad decisions, and she's over 102.
Anytime someone's like 100 or 90, I say, please tell me you drank vodka your whole life. Please.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you've been working out for 60 years. Yeah. Hey, great to have you here. We'll do it again.
Thanks for having us.
Sooner rather than later.
Absolutely.
All right, great. We'll come back. Mike Conti will pop in, Sports Radio 92.9 The Game.